Hi, collective. Welcome into the Borderline Priestess. As always, I like to start my videos by thanking everybody for your views, your likes, your comments, your shares, and your subscribes. It does help me connect to your energy, and it does help out the channel. I'm gonna start off this message. If you didn't see my previous video, you might want to go check that out because it slightly ties into today's message. To be perfectly honest, it took me a while. You could see from when I last posted to now, it took me a while to get this message out because honestly, it just felt very massive. And then on top of that, I had certain stuff going on in my personal life. And I see now why Spirit led me to come out with this message now. I think the chaos that has ensued in my life kind of ties into today's message as well. I see why Spirit put certain things in my path, if that makes sense. So first off, there's going to be multiple messages that were given to me through my mind's eye. In today's reading, my throat chakra's acting up. I apologize. If you see me looking down, I'm referring to my notes in my notebook here. So I apologize, but I will be looking down for some of the reading. One of the visions, I'm going to start off with one of the visions that I got, and it was an iceberg. And the depth of the iceberg was so deep, like I couldn't even see the bottom of it. And to me, this was representative of the reality of the trauma and the pain that the collective that I'm speaking to has endured throughout their lives. I'm just taking a moment because I'm really picking up on a collective where what this collective has survived, people around you do not even understand it. The people around you, their minds couldn't possibly grasp the amount of trials you've endured and the depth and the pain that were involved in the trials that you've endured. And I'm getting that this is a collective that feels very isolated, even when they're surrounded by other people, due to what they've been through. And what I'm hearing you light up the room. I'm getting that people don't even realize the depth of what you've endured. And you shine so bright. You shine so bright, so it's like they wouldn't even think to question that. And that can feel very isolating. Some of the notes that I wrote down was that this is a collective who have survived the unsurvivable. You metabolized destruction and darkness for breakfast, lunch, and dinner before you reached adulthood. You were raised by the void and guided by it, embraced by it. You burned in fires that would consume entire bloodlines while gasoline continuously was being poured over your head. This is a collective that embodies a supernatural level of endurance. So now I'm going to get into the message that I got from the divine, another vision that I got from the divine. And this is what I was talking about when I had said this message just felt so massive to me. Um, I just didn't feel fully equipped and ready to put it out there. I felt like I really personally needed to dive deep into this before getting this out. Because what the divine had shown me, and the way that I was shown this, it was through a music meditation that I was doing. And the song that I was listening to was Hazing by Sextile. I would highly recommend checking them out. Their music's great. But it was the song Hazing by Sextile. I'm gonna go into the vision that was shown to me. If you guys at home, after you watch this reading, want to go check out that song and kind of try to immerse yourself in the vision that I'm about to relay to you guys, I would highly recommend that. I feel like it might really help you embrace your own inner power at this time, because I feel like the collective that I'm speaking to, your confidence and your flame, and as I'm looking, my candle that I had lit, it's just barely lit, so very very ironic, but I feel like your confidence and your flame, due to outside sources, have really impacted those areas for you, if that makes sense. My throat chakra is acting up again. So the message that I got from Spirit through this music meditation, what I had seen was I had seen you in this liminal space. It was very, very dark, and it was like this dark tiled runway, and there was multiple runways. So there was the runway that you were on, and then another runway. So multiple tiled paths in this dark liminal space. And between the runways, underneath it, was just this dark water, this dark ocean water just stirring like crazy. And what I had seen was these two hands, and I'm looking down because I had literally sketched this vision out after I had got it. But what I was seeing was like these two hands. It was like the hands of God in like these clouds come down, and I see you coming in, but the way that you came in and entered the runway that you were entering, you came in different forms. So you had came in as a dark bird, like a crow or a raven, and then as you flew down towards the runway, you transformed into this dark panther, and you were very stealth. And then from this panther, you emerged into this powerful, like the way you were dressed, everything about you was very powerful. It was very glamorous, whether you're masculine or feminine. It was very glamorous. You were just this embodiment of this dark primordial power, is the energy that I had gotten from this vision. And despite your appearance, you had a dark blindfold over your eyes. Now, within the waters that were underneath the runways, I had seen the Leviathan. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about when I say it took me so long to get this message out, because it just felt so massive. And in these waters, I had seen the Leviathan. And if you're aware of the Leviathan, In the biblical terms, it's a vast, monstrous sea creature or serpent, representing primordial chaos. I feel like the collective that I'm speaking to, the trials that you've endured, um, it goes a lot deeper than just you alone. This is very generational, deep, deep past timeline based for some of you. Not all of you. This will always resonate for you, however it resonates with you. So back into the vision, what I had seen was this Leviathan, and on the separate runway parallel to you, I had seen your abusers. I had seen all of the people that have gone out of their way to come against you. And when I'm talking about went out of their way to come against you, it's not some high school petty bullshit. No, it's not that at all. What I had wrote down was people who were treating others as emotional or spiritual guinea pigs, using them as target practice just to see how far they can take their torment. These are the type of people that you were dealing with. And it wasn't just one person, it was multiple people, even in groups, coming up against you. You could have felt extremely targeted during your life. One of the visions, before I get further into this vision, another vision that Spirit had given me, and this has to do with your inner child. I was seeing your inner child at this toy chest of everything they had. You know, it's a child. Like, they're not going to be equipped with a fully grown human. They're not going to be equipped with everything a fully grown human being has, you know. So you had, like, you know, your special blankets, your toys, like drawings that you had made. And what I had seen was you taking one thing at a time out of your toy chest to give to me, the way that it came in was your caregivers, but it'll resonate with you for however it resonates with you. But I had seen you one at a time taking these items to your caregivers and being rejected every single time. And at first you had, you know, a plethora of these things that you had made and that you valued, and so you would give it to this person, your caregiver, whoever this is to you, and one at a time you're like, okay, that didn't work. You could have felt very panicked as a child. You could have felt like you never quite fit in, that maybe nothing you did was ever good enough. You could have felt very scapegoated. You could have just been like the oddball or the odd one out in multiple environments you were in. But one at a time you were taking these items, you're like, okay, that didn't work. Okay, that one didn't work. And as you're seeing your toy chest start to empty, like you're panicking. You're like, oh my God, this nothing I can't give anything to receive this care, to receive this love that I need. I'm sorry, but it makes me want to cry. But yeah, you couldn't, it was like nothing you did was good enough. And I started to see, when you realized that your toy chest was empty, I saw that you had just broke down. You had cried, but then it turned into rage. And when it had turned into rage, I saw that this is where the divine had ushered you. And when I say the divine, I'm talking about both angels and lower level entities. So there were times where you may have acted out in ways that you didn't necessarily have control of, but it wasn't necessarily correct, but it also wasn't necessarily all your fault. And there were times where you had achieved, but it still wasn't good enough. Now, and when the collective I'm talking to, if this resonates with you, I want to let you know that you are loved. I love you. You're valued. I value you. You're seen. I see you. The divine sees you, because there's a reason why this message resonates with you. So let's get back into this vision. So you're on this runway. You're completely blindfolded, but you have all of these enemies. All of the people that targeted you and came against you were on this other runway, and some were even in the water. And on top of the water where the Leviathan was, there were like dark flames. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I had seen you just open your hands. Remember, as I started this vision, these divine hands had called you in to this liminal space. And you had opened your hands back in response. And as you open your hands back in response to your calling, I had seen I don't know what to call them. It's not like tentacles, but like what do you call it? Like this, just the parts of the Leviathan, like imagine like a serpent, coil around your enemies. As you had reached your hands up back at the divine towards your calling, I had seen the serpent coil around all of your enemies, and their eyes were just like starting to widen and like bulge out of their heads. And what I had got from this vision in response was the Leviathan, a being of chaos, primordial chaos. The fact that you are still here after everything that you survived, I don't think you understand the level of anointing over your life and the level of spiritual rank that you have been given. And that's not to say that you are perfect. That's not to say that you're perfect. That's not to say that you have never made any mistakes. That's not to say that you have always walked the path of light. But it is to say that everything you've been through stands for something. The fact that you're still here is an anomaly. It's a miracle. Because others who have walked the same path as you aren't here to tell the tale. So please take that in. What I had got from this message was that you are a sacred weapon of the divine. You are the decoy. You are the one that is sent in to rip chaos where it roots. Please take that in. If you lately have been feeling extra heaviness, spiritual attacks, energetic attacks, drained of energy, constant chaos around you, that's not for no reason. Your life has reached a point to where your mission, your calling is unavoidable. And that's not to say you have to panic like, oh, well, what do I do? What? No. Just as you live your life, as you flow with what comes your way, which you have done thus far, powerfully, gracefully, and brave. You have been so brave. Like I said, you carry yourself in a way where people around you can't even comprehend. They don't even see what lies beneath you. You carry yourself so well, and you have learned through all of these trials such integrity. You've cultivated a relationship that is so sacred with yourself and with the divine, whether knowingly or unknowingly, that there's nothing that can really bring you down. The slander, that didn't work. The abuse, that didn't work. Every single type of torment towards humanity, there's nothing left in that arsenal that can come against you. So I want to take this moment to let you know that it is safe and powerful right now at this time for you to truly embrace everything that you've been through and honor yourself and know that you have the confidence, you have the courage, and you have the endurance to make it through whatever comes your way. And what I'm getting is that on the other side of this, the next test is to let peace in. The next test is to truly let peace in, because when you have lived in chaos, in darkness for so long, peace can honestly feel like a threat. Peace can honestly feel like a threat. And at this time, I want to let you know, the divine wants to let you know that you are more than deserving of peace. At this time, your rest is being funded in ways that are miraculous. I'm seeing an angel, your guardian angel, just their wings completely surrounding you at this time, almost like a hut over you. And at this time, you've endured so much, and it could feel like it's all coming to a head, and that's not for no reason. If you have to cry, go ahead and cry. If you have to take more time for rest, go ahead and take more time for rest, because at this time, self-care is going to be your greatest ally. And the divine is fully supporting you, because the battles that you have overcome has shifted your bloodline, has shifted the world in ways that you don't see, because every move you make shifts. It shifts the timelines, not just for you, but for the collective, for future generations. And I'm getting that you're being called to honor yourself, honor your boundaries, to use your voice, to stand in your power, to take care of yourself, because the divine is with you, and you have honored the divine in ways that I don't think your mind can fully comprehend. The trials that you've been through didn't just honor you and humanity itself. It honored the divine. It honored God. Whatever you believe in, whatever you put your faith into, it goes far beyond just this 3D realm. And I think this is where I'm going to close this message. Again, I want to thank everybody who tuned in to this message. I want to send love to everybody that this message resonated with, whether it was all of it or bits and pieces of it, because I know that what you've been through can feel extremely isolating, and I want you to know that you're not alone and that you're safe. I just want to thank everybody who is honoring themselves, their integrity, and their journey, and not being afraid to face themselves, because that takes a lot of courage in this world. It takes a lot of courage to walk the path that you're walking. So, thank you. I love you guys. Bye.